Hello and welcome back to Drama Investigator. Before we get into today's investigation, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post the tea. Jeffree has finally spoken out. He apologised and owned up sorta kinda in a recent video he posted to YouTube called Doing What's Right. Basically, to sum up the video for you, he said that everyone has to take accountability for their own actions, and he briefly apologised to James Chihuahua for, falsely accusing him of being a that pretty much ended James's career last year. He basically said that he got caught up in the hype, and then Jeffree twisted things by saying more important things are happening in the world at the moment, which is true, but once again, Mr. I know how to manipulate 17 million plus people just gaslit all his fans in my opinion with this statement. Making false accusations like that and the effect it's had on James as well is truly horrifying and scary. Jeffree also mentioned Shane, and that he doesn't agree with Shane's past actions, but Shane is a different person now. What's pissing people off about this statement is that Shane allegedly sexualized children in videos and children's toys, etc. I mean, I'll leave a link down below to some of the videos I'm talking about. You kind of can't come back from that or say, oh, it was in the past, you need to get over it. Something that's that serious in my opinion, like for example, when criminals go to court, the judge doesn't just say to the victims, oh, you need to get over it, it happened 5 years ago. Like if there's hard evidence, people need to be held accountable in my opinion. I think the only thing we really need to know about Jeffree's half-assed apology video is that the comment section has been turned off. However, if we head on over to Twitter, we can get a better understanding of how all his former fans and fellow influencers are feeling about his recent video. Jeffree tweeted, "Hey everyone, I've missed you all so much. Please watch." Fans responded, "Since you turned off comments on your video right after I commented, here's my take on it. The fact that you said shit before and continue to do so in the drama. There are so many videos of you, of actually you, Jeffree Star, saying you have dirt on everyone and that's why they won't F with you and more. Stop playing the victim. Stop saying, poor me. Don't come back acting like you're all innocent, because you're not. But I guarantee you everything he said, his lawyers typed it out and told him to say that. I haven't been on social media for weeks, but yet you're liking all these posts and promoting your new lip liners or whatever. You'll never change. I've been following you for 11 years and you still won't change. Unsubscribed." Sebastian Williams, a fellow drama channel, had tweeted, he admitted he was wrong. He had no facts and is now dealing with it in court. So he admitted he was spreading false rumours behind the scenes about James Charles. Him apologising to James means this alleged voice memo was manipulated to a certain extent. So what's Jeffree doing now? Hiding behind the scenes? I think that if not. Nope, he's out here on his Instagram story back to posting his Pomeranians and promoting his makeup. He has a new Jeffree Star Cosmetics launch coming in August, and there's rumours it might be a foundation launch. He was probably hoping that today's apology video was going to get his reputation back. Lol at that. Moving on from this, Shane Dawson is still cancelled. He has a lot of friends staying quiet about him being cancelled at the moment due to his creepy past videos resurfacing, where he was allegedly and children. However, he also has a few friends who are sticking up for him. One of the very few people who is standing by Shane is his old ex-lawyer friend that he's actually worked with in the past. This guy's name is Scott K. He goes by Scott Fan on Twitter. The amount of tweets this guy has sent out defending Shane, his good old friend, is absolutely insane. Now, how I found out about this was someone messaged me on Instagram. Scott Fan on Twitter is an ex-lawyer who is trying to intimidate people from speaking about the Shane Dawson scandal by he's basically bullying anyone who speaks out against him, even the victim who spoke out about her experience with Shane and the kiss when she was 12, basically saying how he is sorry that she feels uncomfortable now about Shane kissing her, but celebrities are put in this position quite often, basically disregarding her story. He claims to be the co-founder of Maker Studios and a close friend to Shane. So after reading that, I was like, what's going on here? So just to make it clear, this guy isn't Shane's lawyer, he's an ex-lawyer and a longtime friend of Shane, and he's worked with Shane on projects in the past, over the span of time where Shane was making this horrific content about children and animals, etc. Now, how do we know that this ex-lawyer, who's also worked with Shane in the past, is actually Shane's real friend, and not just some random hardcore fan of Shane's defending him? Well, Shane literally mentioned him in a tweet in April this year, not that long ago. Shane had tweeted, "The beanie and the jacket in the summer, a trailblazer for insecure kids everywhere, ha ha ha. Check out my friend from back in the day's new channel." And here we can see Scott's username tagged, but the tweet itself Shane was referring to has since been deleted. Scott has also exposed himself whilst defending Shane on Twitter by saying how he knows Shane and how he's worked with him before. He had stated, "The sources for his analytics were Google. I helped him run a campaign that featured Shane at the time, so I had to get his demographics for the campaign. It was mostly 18 to 24, very few kids according to Google, and this was back when they used to track kids. I'm not a stan, I am his friend in real life and have known him for over 10 years, and I am watching people in real time create a monster that doesn't exist and then dig up off clips to try and justify their belief. I'm also watching people lie about those clips. So yes, we can confirm from these tweets that this is Shane's old friend." So let's delve into these tweets of Shane's old friend and former work colleague defending Shane's every action from videos that have resurfaced. And bear in mind, this guy would know Shane quite well, right, if he's known him for 10 years. Not saying that this guy is speaking the truth at all. These tweets, however, should be an indication of how everyone around Shane who's close to him is viewing Shane's current situation. Someone had said, "Would you let your kid kiss an adult on the lips? How about if the adult isn't a celeb? It should be fine. You say the kid can consent. It's not How about if you're not there? Still confident that it's fine? Come on, I can't imagine anyone would think that's okay. Of course the child can consent. Not sure where you come up with such nonsense. They just can't consent to or acts, of which this was clearly neither." Dawson built a relationship with his young fans. He manipulated them into interacting with him in a certain way. Thought what I can prove to a co-founder of a multi-channel network that makes money off working with YouTube celebrities and a Shane Dawson fan. You get undermined by the opening line. Grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit, and abuse them. There is no accusation of manipulation, exploitation, or abuse. It is common, and it is not okay to indulge such a common request from a child, even if it was their request. A child cannot consent. Their parents can't consent for them. None of the circumstances here make it okay, IMO. Not the adults present, not others having done the same thing. Actually, if you start at the top, that was the point. The OP said they felt it was okay to ask Shane for a kiss at 12 because of his videos. I pointed out that her wanting a kiss from her idol was not unique to her, thus not because of his videos. It is actually very common. There is no victim here. You're really telling a victim who spoke out that they're not a victim? Do you realize how disgusting that is? If your child told you that they felt victimized by an adult who kissed them on the lips, would you tell them that the adult did nothing wrong? Just because bad things happen all the time and no one says they're bad doesn't make them okay. Also, she never asked for him to kiss her. Kissing underage fans isn't okay, no matter if your favorite celeb did it. Celebs shouldn't just be allowed to do gross stuff just because they're a celeb. You can find many more examples of kids proudly posting pictures of them kissing their favorite celebrities in just this way. Having worked with people in the meet and greet industry, I know how common this request is, and often it is granted and not seen as anything wrong. WTF. If you scroll down, it says if the girl is 14 or younger, it could be misconduct or child molesting, even if the girl is willing. So yes, it is. It can also be battery if forced. The more you know. Of course they can. They can consent to lots of things, just not sexual or abusive acts, of which this is not. It clearly wasn't a sexual act though, so it can't be misconduct or child molestation. The Willow Smith thing is a great example. If you watch the whole clip, it is set up that someone finds him at doing that, and then he notices them and is immediately ashamed of his behaviour. He's making himself the joke. The top requests from fans at conventions, meet and greets, and often just meeting on the street is a kiss. Here is a video of Carrie Underwood bringing a 12-year-old boy on stage for a kiss, nearly identical to what you show in your video. This is still wrong, you dumb, stupid, idiotic apologist. Shane's actions in the video you posted were not different than hundreds of other examples of celebrities who wish to, in a public setting, with adults around, grant a young fan a request. I am sorry you look back on with regret. Someone else had said, it's not because there wasn't a name that the relationship wasn't already different then. Many YouTubers at the time even befriended their fans. The context was different between internet celebrities, as you can call them, and actual celebrities because they were always more attainable. Such young fans asking for a kiss, again, a common request at meet and greets, and no one was considering the difference between the relationship between internet celebrity and celebrity. My real point in this thread is to not blame the victim. Adults didn't have a problem with jokes in 2012, 2013, and many people much older and more experienced and educated than Shane didn't understand the history of blackface. Sarah Silverman keeps her joke up on Twitter until this day, and I applaud her for it. Lol, no. We're not going to pretend like blackface was okay in 2012. Not when there were black people criticising Shane for it at the time. Were comedians doing blackface of President Obama without criticism? No, because it was wrong even then. I was there. So from each of these tweets, states, people who are coming for Shane, and rightfully so, are seeing his former friend as an apologist of sorts. Is Jeffree Star a Shane apologist also? I'll leave that up for you to decide. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments.